So, dear students, good evening to both of you. I am Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Principal Scientist, Division of Agronomy, ICAR, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Pusa Campus, New Delhi. Today is 16th February 2025 and time is something about 10 past 6 p.m. So now we are going to continue the lecture. In the last lecture on law of diminishing return, in the last lecture, I gave you some terminology or glossary related to law of diminishing return. Now let us see in detail the law of diminishing return or law of variable proportion in crop production. Now you will see different definitions and concepts related to law of diminishing return or law of variable proportion. You'll also see three stages. Sometimes people call them phases. Sometimes they call stages. It does not matter. Both have been referred in the literature, so you can call it phase or stage. It does not matter. And you will see that in this law, there are three stages. In first stage, marginal return increases. In second stage, marginal return decreases. In third stage, it becomes negative. So there are three stages where you see some different trends in marginal return. So we'll see what are the reasons why marginal return increases in stage 1. In stage 2, it decreases, and in stage 3, it becomes negative. We'll look for the reasons. Then explain the relationship, properties, and some numericals. I'll give you some exercise on total product, marginal product, and average products. And we'll also see what are the assumptions of the law of diminishing return and what are the exceptions to the law of diminishing return and how to maximize the profit and what are the areas where this law can be applied is more applicable. But definitely, I'm sure that it is the most common law applicable in our agricultural production or agricultural crop production. So this law is very, very important for agronomy students. Now you know about Marshall. Marshall had been quite a famous economist, and he has written some books, and number of definitions have been given by him. And most of the economists refer to his definitions for different concepts. So he has given definition of law of diminishing return, or this law can also be called as law of diminishing marginal product. Instead of law of diminishing return, actually it is marginal product, MP, which is declining. First increasing, then decreasing, then becoming negative. So this law can also be called as law of diminishing marginal product. An increase in capital and labor. So some are fixed resources, but he is saying an increase in capital and labor employed in cultivation of land causes, in general, a less than proportionate increase in amount of produce raised unless it happens to coincide with an improvement in art of agriculture. Means it is very simple. If you go on increasing the unit or the number, if you go on increasing the number of this variable input, like your capital or labor, continuously, after a certain period of time or after a certain number of units, you will see that marginal return starts falling. So such kind of law is your law of diminishing marginal product. Now you see some more meaning. In economics, diminishing return, also called as diminishing marginal return, is the decrease in the marginal output. It is MP which is decreasing of a production process as the amount of a single factor of production is increased, while the amount of all other factors of production is stay constant. So here all other factors are kept constant. It is only one factor, single factor, whose value is increased. So because of these value, increase in these value, for certain number of values, the marginal return will decrease. Then it will increase, and then after a certain point, it will start decreasing, and then it will continue to decrease if you increase the units of this variable factor continuously, and finally it will become negative. So this is how you can define the law of diminishing return. Now, the law of variable proportion, as I have already told you, that there is one more law which is called as law of variable proportion. So actually, variable proportion is with respect to fixed factor and variable factor. It is the proportion of the fixed factors and variable factor. In any production, you can divide your factors into two, fixed factor and variable factor. Fixed factor is your land. All factor related to land are your fixed factor, and capital and labor, these are your variable factors. So when more and more units of variable factors are used, here you are using only one factor. Variable factor are used holding quantities of fixed factors constant. A point is reached beyond which the MP, then the AP, and finally TP will diminish. So you can see that MP is increasing, and then beyond which the MP, then the AP, and finally TP will decrease. They will decrease. So as I was talking to you, that only third phase is law of diminishing return. If you take all the three phases, 1, 2, 3, increasing marginal return, decreasing marginal return, and minus or negative marginal return, then it is actually law of variable proportion. If you consider only the third stage, then it is law of diminishing return. Okay, but law of diminishing return cannot directly come. If you want to go to Calcutta, you need to pass Lucknow also. You need to pass some other cities also. If you are going from Delhi to Calcutta, then you need to go to Bareilly, you need to go to Lucknow, you need to go to Bihar, then you will go to Kolkata. ठीक है दादा? And you cannot similarly, in this case, you cannot directly go to Kolkata, means law of diminishing return here. You cannot directly, you have to go to Lucknow first, and then initially your speed will be fast, then it can slow down, your speed can slow down, and then after a certain point of time, you will not be able to move further. The speed can be negative. So therefore, this is how this LVP, and I'll explain you again in later part, then you will get more clarity about law of variable proportion or LVP. LVP or law of, it is also called as variable. In place of variable, he is writing non-proportional returns. Non-proportional returns is also known as the law of diminishing returns. But as well as we shall see, the law of diminishing return is only one phase of the more comprehensive law of variable proportion. Law of variable proportion जो बहुत ही comprehensive है, उसकी सिर्फ एक phase, last phase is law of diminishing return. लेकिन अगर मैं law of diminishing return आपको पढ़ाऊंगा, तो first and second phase भी पढ़ाना पड़ेगा. तो तीनों phase को मिला के law of variable proportion कहते हैं, और last phase को law of diminishing return कहा जाता है. Is it okay? So whether I am teaching you law of variable proportion or law of diminishing return, I need to teach you all the three stages. All the three stages. Because third stage cannot come unless first and two has been crossed. Now, LVP is an extension of the law of diminishing return, as it also considers the phase of rising MP in addition to falling MP. Means diminishing return को भी ये consider करना ही पड़ेगा, जो increasing return है और decreasing return है. The common element between both the laws is that MP is bound to decrease sooner or later with increase in units of variable factor. Now, returns to a factor. What are the trends in returns to a factor? Return to a factor is resultant increase in TP. TP is your total product. So how much is the increase in TP when one factor is increased, keeping all fixed? Means if you have one labor, you are having now two labor. How much is the increase in TP? That is your return. That is return to the factor. In short run, Now you know what is short run. In short run, when one input is variable and all other are fixed, firm's production function exhibits the law of variable proportion. So it is normally worked out for a single factor. It shows the nature of rate of change in output due to a change in only one variable factor of production. This is also known as law of returns. Law of return, you can call it, or law of returns to a factor, or returns to variable factor. Now, changes in TP and MP can be classified into three categories. Stage 1, I think you know, TP rises at increasing rate and MP decreases. Okay, you know TP rises at increasing rate and MP increases. Simple. Stage 2, TP rises at decreasing rate, MP decreases, and is positive, but it is positive. Stage 3, TP falls and MP becomes negative. In short, marginal physical product of variable resource will first increase, then decrease, and finally become negative. Let us learn with an example. Now you will see example how we can see this law in detail. A farmer has a 1 acre land. So land is considered as fixed factor on which he wants to increase the production of wheat with the help of labor. With the help of labor, he wants to increase the production. Variable factor is labor. When he employed more and more units of labor, initially output increased at increasing rate, means return to every factor was more, additional factor was more, then at decreasing rate, and finally at negative rate. This behavior of output you can see in the next slide. So here you can see here. So fixed land is fixed. Land is fixed. Land is 1 acre. So it is 1 everywhere. You have 1 in the first column. Second column, you are increasing the labor. Initially you had 1 labor, then you had 2 labor, 3, 4, 5, 6. You went on increasing the labor. Then how TP changed, total product change. Suppose initially it was 10. Then by adding 1 more labor, it has become 30. By adding 1 more labor, it has become 45, and so on. So finally, at 6 labor, it was 48. See the last column of average product. Just see this column of AP. So AP you can easily work out TP divided by this variable input. TP divided by variable input. So 10 divided by 1, you got 10. 30 divided by 2, you get 15, and so on. So you can calculate AP. Now see MP, marginal product. So for 1 unit, you have to place MP 10. As I told you before, it would be 0. So 10 minus 0, इसको हमेशा याद रखना, वो 0 को minus करना होगा. So here, for first variable, the increase is 10, and TP is also 10. TP is also 10. But for second, the TP has become 30, means 30 minus 10. So because of addition of 1 unit, you have added 10 more units. 30 minus 10, you have added 20 more units. So return to second labor, you can see return to labor has become now 20. So each labor is giving you 10. And increase of 10. Now you see your labor has become 3. Now it has become 45. So increase it 15. 45 minus 30. And then you go on increasing the labor, changing the labor. You will find the decreasing MP. First it is increased. You can see the purple color. Then it starts decreasing. And it has become 0 in the stage 2. And then minus 4, or it has gone to minus in the last phase, stage 3. Is it clear, Kajal?
Yes, sir.
Issue, no issue. So you can see this by increasing, every time you are increasing 1 labor. Every time you are increasing 1 labor. But the change is not proportionate. अगर मैंने 2 बढ़ाया तो उसका 20 हो जाना चाहिए था. It could have been 20. लेकिन ये तो 30 हो गया. ये तो 30 हो गया, जबकि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था. So the proportion is different. You can see the proportion of fixed and variable factor is different, and the output is also different. So you can see the proportion of fixed and variable factor. 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, 1:6. This is the ratio of fixed factor and variable factor. So that is why it is called as law of variable proportion. The proportion of two inputs, fixed input and variable input, are different, and their marginal return is also different. Initially, when you had 1:1 ratio, the marginal return was increasing. From 1:1, it increased to 1:2 when you made it. So from 10, it has increased to 20. So here, the trend was, if you have 1:1 and 1:2 proportion, then it has increased. Next, if you have increased this proportion, or rather, you can say you have decreased actually. 1:3, 1:4 means less land, more labor. Less land, more labor. So now you have made 1:3, land is fixed, but you have put some more pressure. One land पे चार दे दिया, जैसे टीचर है, अभी वो पढ़ा रहा है, एक स्टूडेंट को अच्छे से पढ़ा देगा, 2 को पढ़ाएगा, 3 को पढ़ाएगा, हो सकता है टीचर की एब्सेंसी बढ़ जाए, लेकिन अगर आपकी क्लास बढ़ती जाएगी तो वो फिर आपका डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न में आ जाएगा, और फिर जब बहुत ज्यादा स्टूडेंट आ जाएंगे तो टीचर थप्पड़ मार, वो अपने माथे पे सर मार के बाहर चला जाएगा, नेगेटिव रिटर्न भी हो जाएगा. मींस it is just the teaching of a teacher and taking class, and the return with in terms of quality of teaching. So it may have some relation with the number of students. So similarly here also, the land is one, but you are putting more pressure. Now you have put 3 labor, then you have put 4 labor, then you have put 5 labor. So here what happens, there is too much pressure. There is no good proportion. It is not good proportion. Too much pressure on the land, and then it started giving you less marginal return. It started giving you 15.70. अब बढ़ाओ, कहाँ तक बढ़ाओगे, मेरे ऊपर बोझ, कितने स्टूडेंट बढ़ाओगे तुम? आई विल परफॉर्म पुअरली अगर मेरे ऊपर ज्यादा स्टूडेंट आ जाएगा. आई एम फिक्स रिसोर्स, स्टूडेंट्स आर वेरिएबल रिसोर्स. इस पे थिंक, जस्ट यू थिंक, एंड इसको भी रिलेट कर सकते हैं लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न. And then finally, you have made 1:6. Now the return is negative. So you see, the proportion of, you are changing the proportion of the fixed and variable factor. And similarly, the output in terms of marginal product is not uniform. It is non-proportionate. It is non-proportionate, initially increasing, then decreasing, and finally becoming negative. So we will understand the reason why this change is happening in MP, why it is not always increasing. If it has started decreasing, why it is becoming negative. So we will see the reasons for increasing return in phase 1, decreasing return in phase 2, and negative return in phase 3. On the right side, you can see increasing return. Purple color, these 2 units, 1:1, 1:2 is your increasing return. Then diminishing return, these 3, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. Here you got diminishing return. And then last row, you got negative return. So sometimes numericals are also given. You will be given a table. In that table, they can ask you which rows are representing the increasing, decreasing, or negative return. So you need to write these stages. You need to find out the stages of the returns. This is one numerical. Other numerical can be, they can give you some blank spaces here. Blank spaces. So you need to fill in the blank. Like last time, I would request you to do some practice on this. So you can do practice. I'll show you later. So factor ratios keeps on changing. Production is carried out under conditions of variable proportion. Just I have shown you. Proportion of fixed and variable factor is variable. Proportion between fixed and variable factor changes with every additional variable factor. एक लेबर बढ़ाया तो 1 से 2 हो गया, 1:2 हो गया, एक लेबर और बढ़ाया तो 1:3 हो गया, एक लेबर और बढ़ाया 1:4 हो गया. So changes with every additional variable factor. In the table, the ratio between land and labor changes from 1:1 to 1:2, 1:3, and so on, with addition of more and more units of labor. Now you can see what is total product. Same what I have shown you in the table, same data has been plotted in the form of a line, or you can call it a graph. So you x-axis you have labor units, and y-axis you have total product. So at 1 it was 10, at 2 30, likewise. So you can plot it on y-axis. You can have the yield on or output. On x-axis you can have the variable factor, which is changing or which is increasing on x-axis. You have also calculated in the table the MP. So MP can also be represented by a line, the way just now you have seen the total product. So initially for first it was 10, then 20, 15, 17, 4, and finally it had 6 unit. At 6 variable labor, you can see it has gone to -4. It is -4, it is representing 6th labor. 5th labor is represented by 0. 4th labor by 7, 3rd labor by 15, 2nd labor by 20 MP, 1st labor by 10 MP. Similarly, we can plot the average product. You can see the scene. Even average product has not become negative. MP has become negative, TP start falling, but AP is still positive. You can see in the third phase also. But we can superimpose all these lines to fit them all in one graph. So we can do like this. You can see the same lines have been superimposed. They are merged into one. So you can see how it. Let us start with TP. TP is red line. On x-axis you have labors 1 to 6. On y-axis you have output, and I have taken here output from -10 because one value is our value is in minus. So we can take a scale from minus also. So here your two TP is there, red line representing your TP. So you can see it is increasing phase 1, and then increasing slowly in phase 2, and then decreasing. Now you see this orange one, BJP ka jo line hai, orange one, you can see this orange run. It is increasing, and then it starts decreasing, and becoming negative. So you can see the point of inflection. This is called as point of inflection, from where the nature of the curve changes. Up to this, it was increasing, but suddenly there is change in the shape of the curve. The point from where there is change in the shape of the curve, that is called as point of inflection. And then you can see the marginal product in stage 1. You get maximum value of marginal product. Then it starts decreasing. Then average products continue to increase. And at the end of stage 1, you can see the MP and AP are equal. And then MP continues to decrease. AP continues to decrease. But AP is more than MP in stage 2. In stage 1, MP was more than AP. And then you can see the TP is increasing, but slowly. And then in stage 3, TP starts decreasing or falling, and AP is continue to decrease, but it is not negative. And then your MP has become negative. So these are the points. You can also learn yourself by seeing the graph. You should learn how to make it. Do practice of making this graph by taking some examples. It will come sometimes in your exams also. What is law of diminishing return and what are different stages? They may not ask you to prepare a figure, but if you prepare a figure in 1 minute, then you will get more marks. Your answer should not be just text. In your answers, you should try to make some boxes, some figures, some data in table, or some means you need to be write your answers differently means it would be more catchy. If you continuously from line 1 to last line, if you write just text, you will not get good marks. It has to have some varieties. छोटा छोटा picture बना दिया, छोटा छोटा line बना दिया, छोटा डेटा टेबल में लिख दिया. I can teach you how to do it. और तो उससे क्या आपका जो है ना स्कोरिंग अच्छा होता है, जो रिटन एग्जाम होता है. So you can practice this, how to make this. Just practice कहाँ कौन सा है, and you can clearly see the three stages. Stage 1, this blue line ends the first stage, and the next stage starts from here. This blue line, their demarcation. Now, stage 1, electing to stage 1 and 3 are considered as irrational stage, and stage 2 is considered as rational stage. So why it is so? Stage 1, electing to stop in stage 1 is irrational. Means if it is about the decision of the farmer, how many labors should I use? In which stage of production should I run my business? So in this case, first stage should not be rejected. Means we should continue with this stage. Electing to stop, we should not stop at this stage. It is irrational to stop. Why should we stop producing if output is increasing at increasing rate? So here you are getting more and more output by adding units of variable factor. So why to stop your production here? Don't stop. Therefore, it is considered as irrational stage. It is irrational to stop production here. Then as long as APP is same as AP, it is called as average physical product. As in the beginning, I told you that this law just makes the relationship between physical relationship, tons, quintals, kgs, and so on. So as long as average physical product rising, one should expand input use. So in this case, stage 1, AP is also rising. Now stage 2, useful for farmer that wishes to maximize profit. So in stage 2, no doubt, MP is decreasing. MP is decreasing, but that does not mean that farmers may not be in profit. Here you need to work out the economics. Here you need to see what will be the value of the additional labor. How much cost I need to spend on labor, and what will be my return from that one extra labor. How much additional yield I can get, means delta Y upon delta X. So you can relate it to the prices of both, cost of labor and price of both. So where you get marginal cost is equal to marginal return. That is the point of maximum profit. So that point of maximum profit occurs in stage 2. So therefore, it is called as rational stage. One farmer or any farmer, any grower should run in stage 2 and do not stop in 1 and do not go in third. Do not go in third, because third is also irrational, like stage 1. In that stage, your marginal product is negative, means adding extra labor, your production is going down. उसमें वो जो मतलब too many cooks spoil the dish. Here there are so many players, so many farmers, and so many laborers. Then too much of pressure on the land, and then the marginal product becomes negative. So one should not operate in this region. So if input is increased beyond certain units, output will fall irrational to increase. So it is definitely irrational to increase input use, as it leads to less output. इतना तो हमें स्टेज 1 में ही मिल गया था, जितना हमें बाद में मिला. जब वो फॉल होता है ना आपका, ये यहाँ से फॉल होता है, ये यहाँ से. सो ये जो आउटपुट आया फाइनली हमारा, जस्ट दिस वन, सो ये तो हमें यही मिल गया था. तो why to run, why to go up to this? यहाँ मिल गया था तो यहाँ जाने की जरूरत ही क्या. But here it is more, though it is not increasing at increasing rate, but it is more than this. There's so much of extra. You just take a straight line like this. So it is at least this much extra due to increase in labor. Now, stage 1, we'll see in brief what are different stages. So it starts point of origin up to the point where MPP remains greater than AP. So point of origin, it starts, and it ends where MPP remains greater than AP. or in the end, you see that they both become same at the end of this stage. APP increases through this region, indicating the efficiency of all the inputs. Total physical product increases with increasing rate because MP is increasing. It ends when APP, average physical product, or AP is maximum or MP is equal to AP. So it ends here. Elasticity of production, EP, is more than 1. This is interesting, more than 1, because MP is greater than AP up to maximum average product. At maximum average product, EP is 1. So at this point, EP is increasing, is 1% increase in X leads to more than 1% increase in Y. That is your output. X is your input. Now, point of inflection occurs in stage 1. I was telling you. So when MP is maximum, the corresponding point on TPC. TPC is total product curve. TPC is total product curve. TP की जो line थी वो TPC होता. Total product curve is called as point of inflection. Inflection point indicates the change in curvature of TPC. From here, it will suddenly curve. It will suddenly curve. Up to this, it rises. And then there is sudden change in the curve. So therefore, this is known as point of inflection. You can see here, point of inflection. Here, your MP is maximum. MP is maximum at the point of inflection. So this point to be remembered by you, that MP is maximum at point of inflection at total product curve. So point of inflection happens at the total product curve. It is on the TPC where MP is maximum. Now stage 2 is obtained when MP is decreasing. Now MP starts falling and is less than AP. AP is more than MP, or you can say AP is less than MP. Sorry, MP is less than AP. So in this stage, AP is more than MP. Ends when TP is maximum and MP is 0. You have already seen it. At the starting point of this stage, MP is equal to AP, where EP is 1. At the start, here AP is 1. Because 1% increase in X results in 1% increase in Y. That is why EP is 1, where your MP and AP are equal. TP increases at decreasing rate. At this stage, TP is increasing, but it is increasing at decreasing rate. Second phase is very crucial, as rational producer will always aim to produce in this stage as TP is maximum and MP of each variable factor is positive. If the producer wants to maximize his profits, he must operate in region 2 of production function. If EP is less than 1, but greater than 0 between maximum AP and maximum TP. So here, your EP is less than 1. So it is not advisable because you are increasing 1%, making 1% increase in X, but you are getting less than 1% change or increase in Y. So therefore, it is irrational stage. Stage 3 here, TPP decreases. You have seen total physical product decreases. MP crosses 0 point and becomes negative. TP also decreases, but it is still positive. Total physical product. It is not a profitable zone. Additional quantity of point reduces TPP. So EP is less than 0 in this. As TP declines, so double loss here. Irrational zone and reduced production, unnecessary addition of cost of inputs. So here your comes pollution of the environment also if you have fertilizer. Labor से तो pollution नहीं होगा उतना, but लेकिन जो input आपके हैं उनकी dose अगर आप बढ़ाओगे and you are in third zone or third stage, then it is never advisable. Now these are some exercises that you can do. Examples are given, answers are also given. Please do practice these. So units of variable factor, this is your X, this is your TP, your Y, MP is given, and you need to identify the stages. You need to work out the MP values, try to calculate and see up to which it is increasing is your stage 1, and then it is start decreasing, stage 2, and then when it is negative, stage 3. So identify the stages like this, 1, 2, 3. Answers are given. Please don't see answer. Just solve yourself and then you check the answer. It is up to your honesty. You have to do it. I'm not going to examine it, but it is up to you. See the next case, same thing. You need to identify the stages and then stages or phases, whatever you call. So answers are given, but now MP and stages you need to. So you can write it vertically also. Instead of horizontal, I just put it in the vertical form. समझ में आया? पहले वैसे रो का कॉलम बना दो, आप कॉलम का रो बना दो. It does not matter. So here you can identify stages like this. So you need to calculate TP, MP. ये सारी कैलकुलेशन करना है. ये आपका कई बार एग्जाम में फंसता है, कहीं ना कहीं आता है, इसकी प्रैक्टिस कर लेना. ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
Now this, we have only 3 minutes left, and I think I cannot cover it in 3 minutes. So even if I am very quick, I cannot finish it in. So what do you feel? Should I start it next time or should I finish it today? जैसा आपका मन हो. है मेरे ऊपर छोड़ोगे. एक्चुअल में पहली लिंक हमारी डिस्कशन में खराब होगी, इसलिए गड़बड़ हो गया. So no problem, we'll meet next time, and next time could be tomorrow. Okay, next time could be tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll try to find time in the evening, same time as told by you, and I will inform you by forenoon if I am able to take the class, and then from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I may not be able to take the classes from Tuesday to Friday. And
Okay, sir.
actually, I am going to my home, and let me stop the recording first. Pause recording and stop. How to stop it?